Okay. Wait, hold on now. Let us start. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tatakata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara sadhu sadhu sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Wadita Visukadasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusana Thana, Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, Uchasayana, Mahasayana, Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, Idang Me Silang, Magapala Nyanasa, Pachayo, Hotu, Appamadena Sampadeta, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. All right. Okay. Let us start with some guided Maranasati before we start the Dhamma talk. So sit here, relax the body, relax the mind, keep the mind open, calm, peaceful. Let the body relax, all the tension, all the tiredness, let it all go. From top of the head, relax the forehead, relax the face and neck. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders, arms, relax the chest, stomach area, relax the back, the spine, down to the hips, buttocks, down to the thighs and knees and calf, ankles and soles, toes. So relax the body, keep the mind open, calm and peaceful. My life is uncertain. My life is uncertain. My death is certain. My death is certain. My death is sure to come. My death is sure to come. I do not know when it will come, or how, or where it will come. But I know it will surely come. When it comes, like the thief in the night, it robs everything away. All my possessions, all my wealth, all my gains, name, fame, will separate me from all my loved ones. So before death comes, let me make the utmost effort. Let me make the utmost effort to strive to develop the mind. To develop all the wholesomeness and to abandon all the unwholesomeness. Before death comes and take everything away. My life is uncertain. My life is uncertain. But my death is certain. My death is certain. I do not know when it will come, where or how it will come. But I surely know it will come. When it comes, it will take everything away. My loved ones, my possession, wealth, all my name and gain and fame. So before death comes, let me make the utmost effort to strive to develop the mind until I can able to escape from this round of birth and rebirth, from the rounds of birth and death. Let me make the utmost effort to develop all the wholesomeness and abandon all the unwholesomeness. Now all of us here, all of us here, all our lives are uncertain. Death is certain. All our lives here are uncertain, but death is certain. We do not know when it will come, where or how it will come. But it will surely, surely it will be here on our doorstep one day. It will take everything away. It will rob everything away. All my possessions, all our possessions, wealth, assets, separate us from all our loved ones. Whatever our gains will come to nothing when death arrives. So before death comes, let us have the sense of urgency to strive, to develop the mind until the achievement, until the enlightenment is achieved, is realized. Then only we escape from the clutches of death. All our lives are uncertain. All our lives are uncertain. Death is certain. When it will come, how it will come, we do not know. But it will surely come. When death arrives, it will take everything away from us. Takes all our asset, wealth, and gains, separate us from all our loved ones. So before death comes, let us all make the utmost effort to strive to develop the mind until we can able to escape from the clutches of death. We develop all the wholesomeness and abandon all the unwholesomeness. So all our lives are uncertain, but death is certain. When life is uncertain, death is certain. And slowly we let go. Let go of the contemplation, reflection. Bring the attention back again to the body. Feel the body, feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Feel the sensation of sitting here. And then we can open our eyes. All right. Hold on. Something tick, 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 tick at the back. I thought it was a computer. But fine, it's at the back. Raining just now. Huh? I think the raindrops. Okay. All right. So yesterday we start off on the joy as a factor of enlightenment. We said that joy is the nature, it has the characteristic of endearing, to make everything dear to you. That means it makes things exciting to you. Other words of joy, it's usually we use it as zest or as rapture in that sense. But in the everyday worldly sense, it's when you have your excitement and your laughter. That is also joy. But that is not joy as a factor of enlightenment. That is your everyday worldly type of joy. It can be, as I said, this worldly type of joy, they can be connected with unwholesome mental states. Yeah. But the one that connected with the joy as a factor of enlightenment, because it is connected with mindfulness, connected with investigation of Dhamma, then they becomes purified. Then this type of joy is the type of joy that we want to arouse it for the purpose of enlightenment. Yeah? So in the worldly sense, we have this type of joy which is more clearer to us comparatively to the feelings, the pleasant feelings. So the pleasant feelings and joy, they are two different things. Yeah? In the as a yogi, yeah, as a yogi, actually, I think this is my opinion. I think usually yogis notice joy more often than pleasant feelings. Yeah. When it comes in the mind type. So, so the joy is usually more obvious comparatively to the pleasant feelings. Pleasant feelings is always at the behind of joy. Yeah? It's behind of joy, and joy is always the predominant part of it. So normally we don't experience pleasant feeling directly of the heart. We only experience the joy that comes together with this thing. Yeah? This is my opinion. But some people may disagree. But it's fine because mental states can vary. But the one that I saw or I interview and so on over the time, and I noticed that. And and this type of joy, when it comes as a meditation practice, it comes as a pleasurable interest. That means you are interested in your meditation object. When you feel interested, when you notice that you're interested in your rising, falling, interested in your lifting, pushing, dropping, because there's something to see, something to note, or something new to notice, then you feel there's a kind of an excitement is there. And a kind of a joy is there. Yeah? So that type of interest, which is good for meditation, it's wonderful for meditation because it will help you to sustain the mindfulness much more continuous. It's kind of an active state of mind. It's an active state of mind. So therefore, the mind becomes able to notice all these things much more better. All your objects better, clearer. Then as I said, that we must able to learn how to develop this type of joy. Yeah. Yesterday, I look into the what boredom. That's right. Look into the boredom, because boredom and joy are two different side of things. They are opposite of each other. Yeah? So because of the boredom becoming strong in a yogi, then a yogi must learn how to notice the boredom, the nature of the boredom. So when you notice the nature of the boredom, here what we can do is that we put a little bit more effort. Sometimes we slow down, or sometimes we pay more precisely to what is going on. Then the moment that the mind can able to pick up what is going on, then you see that the boredom slowly will fade away, or very fast it will fade away. Then the whole mind and body becomes refreshed, as if like the whole new energy coming in, the whole new effort of the body or energy of the body, the tiredness, the lethargicness all sort of like disappear. Then the whole mind feels fresh again. Then as if like the meditation is going on. Yeah? Or sometimes we change the object to a next object. Don't stay with the object that you are currently noticing, because that object is kind of like nothing much. So change object, like in the walking meditation, you try to discover all other secondary objects which you are not seen before, or in the daily activities, those activities that you don't really normally pay attention to, pay attention to them. Yeah? Um, Sometimes as little as combing the hair can be very interesting. Yeah? But not for me, of course. you know, when I was as a lay person, then that time, yeah, I already done all that thing, which is can be quite interesting. You can feel a lot of feelings in the body, in the head, especially, slowly lah, take our time, So many things that you can discover. The more that you discover, sometimes it opens up a lot of area in your practice. Then you begin to become much more sensitive to a number of things which you are not really pay attention to it in the past. So those things can be very helpful in arousing that little excitement, or something, discovering something new. So this type of joy, we want to develop it as best as possible. There are also other skillful ways to develop joy. But then we're not going to talk about it today. For example, we're going to talk about it on another day. Another day, like maybe Thursday or Friday, So there are, like, for example, just give you a brief example, like there are 6 recollections. Recollection of the Buddha, recollection of the Dhamma, recollection of the Sangha, recollection of the Sila, virtue, recollection of the Devas, and recollection of the Dana or Chaga, a generosity that you have done in the past. Recollect it. For example, we meditate until nothing, let's say. Nothing much. Then after that, nothing is working, you feel lethargic, mind is not good. Then you recall back to your past that you have done dana, a lot of dana, or a lot of service work that you have done. Just to bring that a little bit in, reflect on it, because at that time you feel happy. So when we recall it also, that type of feeling also you feel happy. So you feel happy, then after that, when the happiness comes in, that kind of like joy comes in. So as the joy gets stronger, clearer, then it uplifts the mind. Once it uplifts the mind, then you drop the recollection. Take the uplifting state of mind, put it into your practice. Then everything will start again. Hopefully. Yeah. Or recollect of the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. That one is a, it can you it take a actually it takes a while to really to talk about it, because again the qualities of the Buddha. If you do not know the qualities of the Buddha, how are you going to recollect? What is iti piso bhagava araha? What is samma sambuddha? Don't know what is it. Then how are you going to recollect? Because when you recollect, you must know its quality. That means you have to have book knowledge. You have to have theory about it. So the Buddha already got 9 qualities. So there's going to be a lot of explanation. So there's going to be a lot of times, and then you're going to be divert out from the what we want to do. But anyway, we're going to talk about that another day. So just to give you an example that some of the skillful ways may not be vipassana, but you can incorporate it in the vipassana, draw out their joy, and then put it into your practice. And then you let go of the recollection. If you recollect too long, if you think about it too long, that happiness will start to become more and more and more and become restless mind. Become restless mind. So there is a limit that you should do. Okay, that one we'll talk about it another day. What else? There's another thing also like mudita. Mudita, if you translate into English, is appreciative joy, or sometimes they translate as sympathetic joy. Again, here the joy factor is the main factor. So how do you arouse that joy in mudita? And perhaps also, I think also in the coming few weeks' time, we're going to start off. We're also going to do this. What do we do? The guided mudita also. When the time comes. Still, we have 2 months to go. So we're going to start off with that also. So anyway, mudita also in a kind of, it's a joy. It's a factor, it's a joy. So we recollect the things that we have done. The things that we have done, like a service or things that we have done, recollect on them. And then we wish that that type of happiness is in us. We wish that also, not only ourselves, but it's also to the people around here, other people, and so on. And also all beings, whether they are in the hell or in the highest heaven, they have done also some good deeds in the past. So we wish that all their good deeds also will bring them happiness. Will bring them happiness. Whether they are happy right now doesn't matter, but it's a wish. We wish them, all these beings, that it give them happiness. So because that one is to overcome jealousy. To overcome jealousy. So the way that we able to do that, to bring about that joy, and then that joy also can be very helpful in arousing, to take that joy, arousing more, to re-arouse the mind again in the practice. So that is also another way. Now, one of the area of the joy that usually we become too, because every day we do it until no feeling anymore. Yeah, something that we do all the time. Every day you come in, you do it all the time. But you forget that this is an area of mudita. And every time you say sadhu, sadhu, but you say already got feeling, no feeling, all empty one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu, sadhu. When you say sadhu, is about you wish somebody well done, you know. I mean, it's an excellent endeavor or excellent action or excellent speech, you know. Then you say sadhu to them. And then that sadhu must come with, I mean, you're truly appreciative and you're truly joyful for their this one, you know. Then we say sadhu in that sense. Yeah? So that's in a sense of mudita. But a lot of us, we don't do that anymore because it's too common already. Everything also sadhu. Yeah. All right, okay. That one we put aside. We're going to talk about that, all those things another day. But today, we're going to look into it on the different types of joy that may come up during in the practice. The different qualities of joy, and it could be also, it can get stronger. It can get stronger and stronger. Yeah? The first type of joy is called the minor joy. Yeah? The minor joy usually usually is described as when a yogi was sitting or walking, then sometimes you feel like goosebumps. Again, here, not all goosebump is with joy, you know. Sometimes goosebump come up also because you are fearing of ghosts or whatever also. Also the mokui chang, the hair also standing up. that is another type of goosebump, but it comes with fear. But this type of goosebump that comes from that type of joy, that perhaps sometimes you sit down and then somehow you recall to the in the past. You recall to the past, and then it gives you a sense of happiness, elation in the body. And then you can feel that the body is like a little bit of this one, a bit of goosebump arising. Yeah. Or is it could be also sometimes like tears of joy. Sometimes you get tears of joy. Yeah. Sometimes you watch movie also it also come out tears. Not the sad type one, not the sad melancholic type of melodrama and so on. But this one sometimes it touch your heart and then you feel some kind of joy arises. Yeah? Then tears also start forming in the eyes. Yeah? So sometimes this type of joy it comes up in the practice. So you note that too. It's a more predominant type of joy comparatively to other aspect of the objects during in your practice. Yeah? Yeah. So it's a kind of like a goosebump. Yeah? So take note of that. Yeah? It's kind of so note that as joy, 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 rapture, 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 rapture. Yeah? So this is one thing. Mm. I think also if the in the commentaries and they put there are 5 types of this type of joy. But I think all this that during in your practice, then there is a little bit of excitement of something new to notice and something something different, and your mind gets excited in noticing them. I think that also categorized under minor joy. You can categorize also under minor joy because sometimes that joy also becomes quite prominent. You see that the mind is elated, the mind is your objects become more interesting to you. So that could be lah. But then again, that is my opinion. But actually, it doesn't matter. During in the practice, it comes. You know it only. It doesn't matter which level it is. So, so this is the first type of joy. Yeah. Now the second type of joy. What's the name of the second type of joy already? The second type of joy is this momentary joy, the momentary piti. Now, the momentariness here, that means the word itself, that means it comes, it gone. It comes, it go. It comes, it go. It doesn't stay there, but it comes and go. But it can come frequently. It hit you again, then it stop. It hit you again, then it stop. It hit you again, then it stop. Some people feel like it's like a lightning flash, It's like it come, just very quickly come and then gone. Uh, uh, so so when this type of things comes, when it comes, then it can feel like it's quite nice. It's quite pleasant. You feel that the all kind of like lethargic and your tiredness or even sometimes bodily tension, it kind of like gone for a while. Then you feel good, and you feel buoyant. And you feel in a way, sometimes with the joy comes in, you feel quite light. It becomes prominent and you feel quite light and quite nice to meditate actually. But that's where the danger comes in. Huh? We'll talk about that also. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. So this type of momentary type of joy, sometimes it comes into the yogi as it comes in and it goes again, comes in, it goes again. And once in a while, this type of joy, it can be a bit strong. It begins to push the body. Sometimes it begins to push the body. Is I'm not to say that it directly push the body, but because it's conditioned, because of that joy, condition the body. It condition maybe the with the wind element, So it makes the wind element a little bit more stronger. So when it makes the wind element stronger, that means the movement stronger because of that joy. Then the physical body can sometimes starts to move together with the forces of the body, because it can be connected with the joy. Not necessarily all the time because of the body movement, but it can because of its momentariness of that type of joy. So it comes, that moment it comes, the body move for a while. Then it comes again, move for a while. Some people, they experience this type of phenomena. No? Yeah. So this is one type of it. Another, the third one is called the wave-like type, the wave-like piti, the wave-like joy. So the wave is like, just like the words, like in the beach or in the shores, the seashore, and then the waves come in and come in. This is like this is not like a flash and then you don't feel it now. This is like the waves come in, but you still feel, even the wave disappear, then you still feel good, very good. Then it comes in again. Like it's like your whole body, and then it's go through that, and again, it bathes the body. It kind of like make the whole body feels like again and again you're being hit by it again and again, and you don't mind hit by it because you feel good, you feel really excellently good. All your tension, all your tiredness, all your pain and everything, all gone. You feel elated. If hit a few more times also, it's good. Away from the buttock pain for a while. So this is kind of a wave-like thing. Sometimes um, the teachers or the commentary says that usually they say this type of different type of joy, it says experienced by everybody. I'm kind of doubtful about it, whether everybody experienced that type of joy or not. But you will experience one way or another. One way or another. It may not, whatever that I described, you will experience in your lifetime, It may, some yogis may experience it, but some yogis may not experience that particular type of joy. Okay? You may have another type of joy, this one another type of joy. It's just that we give a different name because of its nature of how they arises and their characteristic in that sense. Yeah? So the third one is the wave-like joy. Yeah? So the fourth one is uplifting joy. Yeah? Now this uplifting joy, once in a while, we also hear yogis yeah, that when they meditate, they feel like the whole body is like uplifted. They feel like it's so light, and then it's feel like helium or hydrogen, like so light, so light, like they are floating in the air. Then sometimes they forget themselves. They forget themselves, and then they just continue meditating, But sometimes, actually, a lot of times they are not meditating. They just feel good, They just feel good, and then it's just like floating. Then suddenly they remember, oh, see, floating. If I float until the fan there has, then the shock all coming in, then but actually they don't feel floating. It's just the body become very light. So sometimes because of its lightness and because of our concept of uh, place or direction, we begin to slowly lose those things, and then the because of it, we lose the context or the concept. Then we can feel like as if like we are in the floating like that. We can feel like we are floating in that sense. In the text, in the commentaries, they mention that this type of uplifting joy is actually the word itself. That means the whole body fly. The word itself, it gave the uh, a story about a lady during in the times in the, I think must be in Sri Lanka. This is mentioned in the Visuddhimagga. So that may be like 10, 12, 13 centuries ago. It says that this lady, because she's pregnant and she could not able to go to the monastery to listen to the Dhamma. And then the parents are getting ready to go, and she could not go because she's pregnant, and it's not good for her to travel in that sense, But her heart is filled with so much joy by knowing that the monastery in that direction, although he should not able to see it, but she knows that it's in that direction. Then because of that, the joy begins to so strong that it uplifts the body, then the whole body fly right up to that monastery before the parents arrive. Then the parents saw her, hey, how come you're here first before than us? How did you come? No, I didn't come by the road. I flew from the air. But the parents don't believe it's only the arahants can do. You also can do. So it mentioned in that story. So whether that's so you pick it like now, whether it's real or not real, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. What matter is that sometimes these things it may happen also. If you go in the retreat long enough, you go in the retreat long enough. Hey, wait now. Where's my okay? Now, if you go into a retreat long enough, perhaps if you are lucky, then you may see sometimes there are people actually moving from where exactly you are sitting. They can bounce to another area. That I've seen it myself in Burma, that this yogi every time meditate, the whole hall start to shake, boom, 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 boom. At first, we didn't know what is going on because, a sound, we just note, just rising and falling. But it becomes more frequently every sitting time, and then we begin to turn to the back. And actually, the yogi is like, as they sit on the floor, and then they can bounce, 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 bounce here and there. They actually bounce. Yeah, I saw it with my own eyes. Whether it's connected with joy or not, but I think so it is. But the way I mean, for externally, we look at it, the more that it bounces, the more happier the yogi become. So you can imagine it bounce, pom, 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 pom. Then because we are at the first floor, we are afraid that she bounced near the staircase and then bounced. So the side door is waiting at the staircase there, just in case. Then perhaps after a day or two, if I remember correctly, then it doesn't bounce already. But then other parts of the body start shaking already. Yeah. Then here is the head, it start dung, 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 dung. And I say it's like look like a car, the toy you put in the car, with the head, and your car is driving and your head is like moving that thing, but the body is not moving on the head move on it. So something like that. So something like that, because of the joy, it starts to move the body. And so it could be, I said it could be because that type of joy is like uplifting, And it's interesting, it's a very rare case, but this thing is mentioned. But there are also, Mahasi Sayadaw also mentioned in the books, that when this type of joy arises, he actually noticed, he or Lady Sayadaw, I forgot, that these people, when they meditate, this yogi meditate, they actually float up. They put the finger below the buttock there. There are 4 fingers you can still go through, You go down and then you can see. There's no cushion, nothing. They actually float up. According in the books, according. So whether it's real or not, I do not know because I didn't see it. So this type of what we call the uplifting joy, the uplifting joy in that sense. So that is the 4th one. The 5th one is the pervading joy. The pervading joy, that means it comes, it stays. It's not like wave light, come and come, come, go, come, go. It's not like a flash, come at one time, very quickly, momentary, then disappear. This one, it comes and then it stays there. And then it becomes so prominent, then the whole body feels so light, so nice, as if like you're in a cocoon like that, Like you are being wrapped up by the joy. So nice, so pleasant, so wonderful. All your tiredness, all your pain here and there, all your tension that we talk about, all gone. How nice when you feel that. Do you think after that you want to note pain? When the pain comes up, you still feel so nice, so pleasant. What is rising and falling? What is all this thing? And then now you feel so deep inside, pervading joy. It covers up the yoho yogi. So they have their own words for it. The yogis sometimes have their own words for it. Anyway, among these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this type of joy, as I said, doesn't mean that all the time or you're going to experience them in your time when you are in a retreat, or you may not experience this thing so much. Some yogis experience it more than others. Because of their characteristic, or because of their maybe past karma, because this one, it's the joy arises because of their wholesome deeds that they are done in the past. And this is pleasant, something pleasant arises in this one. But if they are not careful with it, that is where the danger comes in. The joy itself, if when you are using the joy for noting, to note your object, then it's perfectly all right. Then you're perfectly okay. If you note the joy also, when it's even that it's very strong, like pervading type of joy or uplifting type of joy, if you keep noting it as if like when as another object and you keep noting it, joy, 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 and you notice it and you see it's stronger, getting weaker, it changes, it disappears, it comes back again. Then if you do that, then you are in the correct way of vipassana. But most yogi, unfortunately, if they even if they listen to this type of talks, then even they listen to this type of talks, or too bad if they don't understand all these type of things, then when this type of joy arises, firstly, they will drop all their meditation objects. They'll drop everything. Not only vipassana objects. If you are a samatha meditator also, you will drop your whatever samatha object also that you are doing. Even if you take up the in-breath, out-breath, then the whole joy come in like a wave-like joy. Who wants the in-breath, out-breath some more? Again, they can. And they think that just because they have that type of joy, then they thought that they are going into jhana already. No, that is not. That is not. They're still far away, actually. There are teachers put this as what we call samatha upakilesa. Attachment to all these type of things. Whereas on the vipassana, then it becomes as you're attached to all these type of things, you crave for it, then it falls under vipassana upakilesa. Upakilesa, Upakilesa, upakilesa. The word upa means near. Kilesa means defilement. A defilement that is very close and near. When we use the word near usually in context of Dhamma, that means it looks like it kind of like a twin, but it can be unwholesome. For example, we use the word near enemy of metta. What is near enemy of metta? Who is the near enemy of who? What is the near enemy of metta then? Then it's the attachment. It's the attachment. And attachment is called near enemy of metta because it looks like metta, but it's the unwholesome part of it. So again here, when it comes to vipassana also, this type of joy that arises, so pleasant, so nice at that moment of time, the yogi thought that this is the real vipassana. Rising, falling is not the real vipassana. Pain, all this, not the real. This is the real vipassana. So because they don't realize that behind it, there's attachment onto the joy is there. So what happened when they don't understand in their practice? And many people fall into that category. Many people. Whether you don't have to, you remove the idea of whether it's vipassana or samatha or any worldly form of meditation, or whether you have instruction or no instruction. If you go inside into meditation, if you go inside meditation, and then all this type of pleasant feeling come in, pleasant joy comes in, it's like pervading type of joy, cocoon-like joy. You sit there. You think you want to look for other objects, man? And then, do you think that in the next sitting that you go to, you want the pain again, man? Or you want the joy? Definitely, you love the joy. You want that joy. You want it to come again and again. And the thing is that a lot of them, they don't realize that they're already attached to that joy. The craving is already building up behind it. And it's going to get stronger and stronger if nobody to tell them. Yeah? And then the more that they want it, the more they desire it. Yeah? So here, that type of joy, the joy is not the problem. First of all, let me put it clearly. The joy is not the problem. It's the attachment towards it is the problem. And they don't see the attachment or the craving or delight onto it. So any form of meditation, whether samatha, vipassana, or any worldly meditation, if you don't realize that there is a attachment towards it, and that attachment starts to grow, and when you grow, and then it will start to go into wrong thinking. It's going to go into wrong thinking. You're going to start to thinking that this joy is wonderful. This joy, this pleasant state of mind is wonderful. It's a very deep practice. I have achieved, maybe I achieved jhana already. Maybe I achieved nibbana already, but they are not sure yet. Maybe, maybe. Maybe I'm there already. Maybe because of this joy that I have the power, at the very, maybe the devas, grant me some power, so that I have that joy. There are all kinds of wrong thinking is coming in here. The mind is creating all sort of all sort of attachment which they are associated to. If you are a Buddhist, you associate that joy with some nibbana, some samatha, or some progress. Yeah? Or if you are in a worldly sense, then this type of joy could be because of some God-given thing, or it could be some kind of some Almighty or some Brahma-given thing. So all kinds of thinking starts coming up. So the wrong thinking, it can be dangerous. Okay? But the next one become much more dangerous, which is the wrong view. Wrong thinking is not too bad yet. The wrong view, miccha ditthi, this time they believe already. Just now, they're thinking about it, and the thinking is going on and on and on about it. So long enough, if they don't not able to remove those things, then the whole wrong view will set in. When the wrong view set in, you tell them, they stand in front of the Buddha give them a discourse, they cannot get out of it because the wrong view is so strong. They believe that that type of joy is nibbana or is jhana. Now imagine that cocoon-like of joy, and it's so pleasant, so wonderful. You never seen it in your everyday life. Your everyday life, you go for Namo Tassa Bhagavato, you feel so happy about when you have with social, with with you having social functions with all your Dhamma friends. You do some activities and you feel happy gathering together. So nice to see all of you. That one is like chicken feet, peanut, nothing. Until you begin to feel this type of joy, so pleasant, so nice. That is, I'm trying to put a comparison here, because you have not seen it before, you have not feel it before, and let's say you have no instructor to tell you or no teachers to tell you, you thought that that type of joy it's already nibbana, or it's already sama or jhana, or whatever that you are, or whatever that you are associated with, or whatever religion that you're associated with, or even non-religion you're associated with. So it attached until it become wrong view. Become wrong view, and that is terrible. There are yogis, there are Buddhist devotees are like that. I've seen it also, but how to help like that? I've seen it. I've heard it once a while, not to say many, but once in a while. The moment I hear that, I know, 死了. They get stuck already. The next problem is the wrong view. When they have the wrong view, the next thing is that they want to come out and teach. You come, you meditate already, you get all this joy, and then you 后死了, and then they also get, there you are. All the whole generation of Buddhist devotees can fall into all this type of trap. Every time they sit down, they look for that joy first. Every time they sit down, they look for that type of pleasantness, that cocoon-like or that wave-like type of joy. So it's the danger is there. Not to say there's no danger. So this is one of the danger of many dangers that you're going to encounter in vipassana. This is one of the danger. This is one of the danger. The next one. Let's put this, since we talked about pleasant feelings earlier on. Now, these pleasant feelings can also be the same thing as the joy. How the attachment onto it, and then wrong thinking arises, and then wrong view arises. Okay? This type of pleasant feelings is even more refined than joy. When you say joy, like a cocoon night, so feels so nice, so wonderful. But when the pure mental pleasant feeling, which is not, in a way, I use the word pure because it's not adulterated by thinking on it. It's not because you recall something of the past and then it gives you some kind of happiness and so on. No. This time it comes with the practice, and it's come up with a kind of deep practice actually. And it comes up. There's no joy, but it's only completely pleasant feeling in it. And the heart feels so smooth and so nice and so pleasant and so wonderful. Yeah. It may come to you. It may come to you. And this time, and when you compare this type of feelings and just now the joy, it's like just now when I say I compare the joy and the worldly type of joy, so different. When again here, when you compare it to a pleasant feeling and a joy, then this pleasant feeling is so refined, and the joy, even the pervading type of joy, it feels like so rough, so cholo already. You see, it can go further some more. But this type of feelings, as I said, as long as you're mindful of it, don't attach to it. Sometimes you're not sure whether you're attached to it. Ask yourself, am I attaching to it? If you just keep noting, pleasant, then you are all right. Then you are safe. Although the pleasant feelings can still be there. For a number of sittings or walking, it can still be there as long as you don't attach to them. So the traps are strong. Yeah? Now here, this type of pleasant feelings or joy that arises, usually for a yogi, when it comes to the third insight and the fourth insight, the third insight is the knowledge of comprehension. And the fourth insight is the knowledge of arising and passing away. Around around that time, all these types of mental pleasant feelings or joy or even your faith also will start to come up quite strongly because of, again, as I said, because of your mindfulness becomes strong, everything becomes magnified. Even the joy is magnified. That's why you feel the different types of joy. Even the feelings is magnified. Even right now, the pleasant feelings also become obvious to you. Uh, it becomes obvious, it becomes clear to you, it becomes a predominant object right now. So around that time, for a rule of the thumb, generally yogis come into around that time. This type of joy can be quite strong. Hmm? But it doesn't mean that it's only around that time you'll feel it. You may even feel it, this type of pleasant feelings or joy, right in the beginning of your practice itself. But again, here, not many yogis feel this type of things. But there are some yogis, once in a while, they have this type of feelings also, this type of mental state. So, when they comes in, usually with this type of people, then the attachment can be very strong because they do not know how to meditate yet. And suddenly all these type of feelings, pleasant feelings come in, then very fast they get attached to it. So not many yogis that I've seen, they have this type of thing. Usually in the beginning, what do you have? You have pain here, pain there, pain everywhere. Tension here, tension there, tension everywhere. So normally we see most of the time we see yogis with a lot of unpleasant feelings, which is actually is good because it shows there's a sign of progress there. If they get too attached to the pleasant feelings. If the pleasant feelings comes in right in the beginning of the practice, and if they are not being monitored or not being guided, and then very easy they fall into that trap. So there are some yogis right in the beginning, they already have it. They don't have to wait until the third or fourth insight. But generally, most of the yogis, usually at the third or fourth insight, this type of joy and feelings, it can be quite strong. It can be quite strong. Uh, If you want to go further to the deeper insight, to the deeper development, then here when the joy comes up, all you need to do is make sure you just keep noting it. The noting it is the path. Attachment to it is not the path. The attachment to it, that means the mind gets attached to it. You think that you are still in the path, but then all the wrong thinking coming in, all the wrong thinking, and then you go sway lah. You go to another thing, and you believe to be nibbana ka jhana ka whatever lah. That means you're out of the path already. So all you need to do is make sure you go back to the noting the joy itself, or noting some other object, anything that is arising, passing away, changing here and there. Then you're on the right track. Once you notice this joy or these pleasant feelings, if you keep on noticing it, then it will show its impermanence to you. It will change. Then you know that there you are. It's impermanent. It's not going to be permanent. But if you don't note it, we want it to be permanent. We want it to be there all the time. Because of this type of attachment, some yogis fall for it for 10 years, 20 years. They don't realize that this is just attachment towards it. But some yogis, after 10 years, 20 years, then only they realize that it's not the right path. You got 20 years? We don't know. But as long as I said, don't get attached to it, just keep noting it. All these objects, keep noting, then you are in the right path. Now, if you are in those or online, if you are in the samatha meditation also, let's say you take up in breath, out breath, or take up any form of even metta and so on. my advice is, if all this type of joy comes up, stay with back with your in breath, out breath. Stay back with your metta. May I be free from harm, danger. And let the joy be at the background. Let the joy be there. But again, back again to your in breath, out breath. Back again to whatever that their main object of your samatha, you stay with that. If not, again, you're going to go out. The principle is the same. Attachment is the same. No matter what meditation you do, as long as the attachment comes in, it's going to go haywire. If there's no attachment, you be mindful of it. Whether you're samatha or vipassana, then it will go forward. It will go. It will. The thing will progress. The meditation will progress. Uh, So here, anytime the joy comes up, and it comes up, don't get too attached to it. Neither you reject it also. There's nothing wrong with the joy. It's just a mental state. All we need to do is make sure we take note of it again and again. All right? Okay. We'll stop here for tonight, and we'll continue the talk on Thursday. Tomorrow, no Dhamma talk. Mm. อิดังเมภาวนังนิบานัสสะปัจจโย Hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of Nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.